that we are the features of today's program. I am respecting your presence and participation for the reason that all of you were knowing the subject on which you were invited to be here. And that subject is constitutional values and nationalism. And by your full presence, you have just registered yourself that yes, you are in that stream which feeds these two subjects. So, from the depths of my heart, I register my respect to your presence and participation. Now, it's very emotional for me whenever I find myself back in the company of my seniors, my brothers and sisters and young lawyers. Because as a whole I see that this is my mother from whose womb I joined, in the lap of whom I got birth. Then I see seniors who are in the front row. They are the busy lawyers, giving us as a young lawyer an incentive to become good in our profession. By following them, we also started growing. And that growth takes a humble lawyer like me to a position on which I am today because of none else than the profession which we know as profession of law. And that is always emotional to me. When Mr. Rahul came to me, he came with a reluctance whether I would agree for the invitation or not. But the moment he said that, sir, we are intending to organize a young lawyers meet on a subject, I didn't ask him what is the topic. I simply said, you have come to invite me, I am all there for you. Anytime, wherever, whenever. At 3 o'clock, Mr. Rahul conveyed to me, he spoke, gave me a call, sir, there is some issue, and I am apprehending that this issue would take time to sort out. So, you would have to wait for a while. I said to him that if the things do not come to cordial today, I am available for tomorrow also. So just go upstairs and do your program. Now, today's my address is all to the young lawyers. And by young lawyer, my definition is one. Whosoever has spent 5 years of stay in this profession, the 6th year is the young lawyer's first year of being in the profession. So, for me, young lawyer is not the lawyer of first year or second year. They are just the babies of the profession who have come in the nursery. They may not like to stay in the school. So 5 years period is the period when the new entrant in the profession takes that step from babyhood to child who is willing to learn in a school, and his journey or her journey starts from class 1, then up to class 10 when he or she says goodbye to the school, thanking the school that yes, I am proud of being the product of that particular school. Why I say 5 years is the initial period of joining as a professional to be known as a young lawyer. If you see that this medical study creates an MBBS student after 5 years of very back-breaking study. I am sure anybody who is here, whose brother or sister is in this medical profession, they are surely witness to this fact that they have seen their brother or sister, as I have seen my younger brother becoming, who is 1 year younger to me, got MBBS, that for 5 years he was not able to take up taken away himself from the studies. It's all books. And just being his brother, I also started knowing that which books are the must-read books for him. Grey's Anatomy, such a bulky book. It's a mother book for all the young doctors to day in, day out, read, and then after 5 years, that minimum qualification of being MBBS comes in the pocket. From 5 years onwards, that graduate he gets started knowing to be a doctor. Then MD, then postgraduate, and then it's all, but 5 years. So when I joined this profession, by experience I came to a very confirmed opinion that after 5 years, whosoever would be the lawyer staying in the profession, it means the profession has created a space for him or her. Believe my words, and I say it with my experience. And you would often come across, my colleagues would bear me out, whenever I come across with a young lawyer, the first thing I ask him or her is, how many years have you spent? And if the answer comes, sir, 6 years, 7 years, then I assuredly tell him that you stand planted. You stand planted. That means the seed which was overground has now gone underground. And once a seed goes underground, nature takes its process on. Similarly, this profession starts attending to the growth of that 5 years plus lawyer who day in and day out, as a first day entered in profession, what is the first thing which we come across? That we have to leave the comforts of our home to reach the chamber of our senior. We have to part with the comforts of our home to come early in the courtrooms, to come early in the court complex before our senior comes. This may seem to be very mechanical. What a big deal. Question is not that, as I can say, when we were new entrants, we used to be coming through public transport. And present generation, because of good economic conditions of the parents, they can afford to come on any private conveyance. That doesn't make a difference. But the question is, everybody is supposed to be here in time before the senior reaches, come to the chamber, see the files, rush to the courts for doing all preliminary works. This mechanical motion of 5 years starts generating a process in that budding lawyer. And I have an instant to quote. It is not that I have imagined it to be shared with you. In AIR, at the time when we started profession, AIR used to be the compulsory book to be in hand, if one could subscribe to it. Otherwise, go to library and read it and study it. In one of the AIRs of 70s timeline, there is a journal section in AIR. Every AIR monthly has a journal section. In that section, I come across with the writing of Honorable Mr. Justice H.R. Khanna, the most distinguished jurist of the world, not of India. I may not say anything further on his personality. His father was also a practicing lawyer in Amritsar. Now, Justice H.R. Khanna in his writing is saying that when I joined profession, I along with my chambermaids, whosoever, they were not his relation, but maybe somebody is senior to him, somebody is, that we used to rush early to the court to ensure that we do all the clerical work of the files of my father, So that by the time my father arrives at 12 or say 12:30, when the argument stage or evidence stage of a particular case is supposed to happen, then we are free from that work and stay in company of senior as being a father to learn now what would happen when he would argue, when he would cross-examine. Now this routine of Justice H.R. Khanna was what? That coming on rickshaw, bringing files, attending to the clerical work, and then coming to the substantive work, and that made Justice H.R. Khanna Justice H.R. Khanna. So this is where I am addressing in that context to the young lawyers. Now, coming to the subject of the day, and the intervening development of today makes it a bit more interesting. It adds spice to it. Whatsoever has happened, and that has left our bar president, Mr. Nirmal Kotwal. Otherwise, he is a very composed person. As Rana Sahab has said, that he hardly exhibits his annoyance. Because I have also known him for the last 30 years of my. When we joined, Mr. Nirmal Kotwal was already an established lawyer. And I have never seen him lose his composure or give vent to his anger. But today he registered his anguish. That this is high time that we start behaving properly. And when he was saying so, he was not addressing to a collective body of, so to say, lawyers. Perhaps he was meaning to say to each and every one of you people. And it must be registered by each and every one of you. Now, Adhivakta Parishad today's invitation got my attention. And the attention is that his motto is for service of law, and the iconic photo is that of Swami Vivekananda. But these two things self-define everything. When even Constitution was not even in contemplation of our nation, which we know as Bharat, as India, Swami Vivekananda had taken the nationalism to its peak. Every youth of the day and every youth of today also, by just having a look at the Swami Vivekananda's photograph, immediately gets an idea of being a proud Indian. The invitation itself speaks that for what purpose we are meant to be here. As a subject, both constitutional values as well as nationalism. I will just make a pause here before I proceed with my thought sharing. Now, whatever I am sharing today with you is not a product of some my very distinguished academic achievement that I graduated from foreign university. No, I am as ordinary LLB graduate as all of us are. My schooling is also of an ordinary school of Jammu. But my learning is in the presence of the distinguished seniors, the serious-minded seniors, by looking at whom one message always used to get inside us, that this is a serious profession, and make no joke about it. Don't come here for the sake of joke. Because if your senior is entrusting a file into your hand, and if you are not in the habit of being serious, that means tomorrow you will not be serious with your own brief. And if you people have come here to earn a living, as all of us, we are supposed to be earning our livelihood, have you seen any laborer making a joke about his profession of labor? Have you allowed even a laborer engaged for doing your own house construction, creating a joke at the work site? if a laborer doesn't make a joke about his a very manual work of lifting, bajri, rake, and he's all serious, he doesn't give a call to his wife, he doesn't crack a joke with his children, कि अब मैं ये 2 कढ़ाई उठा ली है. He's damn serious. He knows that at the end of the day he is supposed to have some 500, 600 rupees in his pocket, which is going to be his livelihood, which is going to run his or her household. And if they are so serious, then you can better imagine the level of seriousness which we are supposed to carry day in, day out. And if you have that seriousness, then that seriousness begets your education in the profession. And this is where from I am today addressing you. Because the day when I joined the profession, one thing I was non-negotiable for me, that it is a serious profession and I better take it seriously. And what does this mean, to take it seriously? That this profession is a profession of your head. Head means this is the crown of a human body. That something happens here. People come to us not for our good-looking personalities. You are vocal, that you are very sweet to talk to. No. Even a dumb person can be a very good lawyer. And if somebody would ask me how, depends if he keeps himself totally into his books, reading day in, day out, the statutes, jurisprudence, constitution. Every speaking lawyer would be rushing to him, asking, sir, give us, write it on a slip so that on this problem, what is solution to me? I have a client waiting to pay me for full fees on demand, provided I have an answer. So this is the seriousness. Now the topics which Adhivakta Parishad has, and I must commend Adhivakta Parishad for this. Young lawyers, constitutional values and nationalism. This is what the future of our nation is all about. Both topics, rather I would include young lawyer also as a subject of topic. Young lawyer, constitutional values and nationalism.